Have you seen how the woke gamers act these days? And even the activists? You ever notice how defenders of woke games love to say, relax, it's just a game. But when they're the ones talking, suddenly that game becomes a revolution, a cultural milestone for diversity and inclusion. A statement. You can see it in every politically correct game out there like AC Shadows, Spider-Man 2 or even Veilguard. They dismiss our concerns in the same way every single time to the point where you start recognizing the pattern. So which is it exactly? Is it just a game? Or is it a political message wrapped in pixels? Or maybe a censorship underneath? Let's break down the hypocrisy and explore some of their clever little tactics. Let's first start with Motte and Bailey. Let's take a recent example. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ubisoft made the lead character Yasuke an African samurai in feudal Japan. Historically real? Yes. Historically central to Japan's Sengoku era? No. Now look, no one's denying his existence, but fans ask a fair question. Why make a relatively obscure foreign figure the main lead in a game about Japanese history? And suddenly the pushback begins. You just don't want a black character. It's just a game, don't take it so seriously. But that same crowd? They were hyping the game up just weeks earlier as a powerful step for representation, inclusion, and diversity as well. This is the contradiction. When the message supports their views, it's a cultural victory. Something they could be proud of, something that will make them happy and fulfilled. But when you question it, the shield comes out. It's just a game. This is what philosophers call the Motte and Bailey Fallacy. So for those who are unaware, let me explain a little bit, okay? The Bailey is the bold ideological claim. The game matters. It promotes inclusion. It challenges norms. In other words, the Bailey is the ideal place for them to live in. It is easy to live in. It's the ideal place, but it is harder to defend. Hence the name. The Motte, on the other hand, is the safe fallback. Imagine a place like a military barracks or maybe a fortress. It's not really what you call an ideal place to live in, but it's easier to defend. You know what I'm saying? And the example of the statement they usually use when they fall back onto their moat goes something like this. Bro, chill. It's just entertainment. It doesn't matter. Why do you care so much? It's just a game. See the pattern here? See the contrast between the two. When they're promoting the game, they live in the Bailey. When you criticize it, they retreat to the moat in order to defend their ideologies. Then, when the heat dies down, they sneak back out and resume the preaching. It's a rhetorical bait and switch, and it's everywhere in modern gaming discourse. I could argue it's even outside gaming at this point. Now, let's go back to the more recent one. Since you clicked this video, I'm pretty sure all of you guys have at least an idea of the Oblivion Remastered body type controversy. Again, the game itself is great. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty damn amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna argue that. But a lot of people question the body type change when in the original, the choices were simply male and female. You can see it. A lot of people are even spamming in Bethesda's post that they should switch it back because it makes sense. It's a remaster, not a remake. And remaster usually goes almost a 1-to-1 ratio when it comes to replicating what the original version has done. The remaster only adds details, graphical fidelity, you know what I'm talking, basically painting it up to make it look good, but the game still feel the same. And this one, it kind of feel like a remake to me, which is not bad on its own, okay? It's just that a lot of people are sensing the political push because why change gender into body types in the first place? Now, this activist would defend this by usually saying, nobody cares. It's just a game. It's not that big of a deal. Their answers, all of them, are the same. Maybe some other words are thrown in, but the message is the same. Nobody cares. It's not big of a deal. It's just a game. Along those lines. They bombard you with this same dismissive argument, and a question starts popping in your head. If it's not that big of a deal, why even change it in the first place? That's the question we should be asking. Why? This is where the trivialization enters. It's the classic don't worry about it, it's nothing argument that downplays real concerns in favor of pushing an ideological shift. Then if you start asking them the question, if it's not big of a deal, why change it in the first place? They will start crashing out. They will give a vague answer along the lines of, I don't really care, I just don't understand why are you so pressed about the gender thing, or something along those lines. They are making it look like what we're doing or what we're questioning is a bad thing. And when you ask them this question, they can't really answer objectively. They just crash out and leave the conversation. That's it. And sometimes even resort to attacking you personally. And once the game publishers or developers decides to bring back the gender, or maybe remove the black character, or just remove the overall woke elements in their games, they will also crash out. They will get mad. And this is where the concept creep comes in. Once you omit the body type and just stick with the genders, activists will cry that it's harmful and non-exclusive or not diverse or whatever. They get offended by it, even though it was just the default design of gaming in the first place, gender. Same thing with other woke games like AC Shadows. If you omit gay scenes or the Black Samurai, the same crowd will scream about a lack of diversity or representation without realizing that Japanese people are already a part of the diversity program they claim to promote since they're Asians. Oh, you may be wondering what concept creep is. In Fortnite terms, it's basically gaslighting. That's basically it. The funny thing is, Oblivion isn't a woke game. But the activists are still trying to slip in these unnecessary woke elements. Heck, on day one of its release, someone already made a mod to revert the body types back to gender. But Nexus Mods, a popular site for game modding, repeatedly removed the mod. This is where one-sided censorship comes into play. It's a subtle but powerful tool, especially in gaming, and it's not always what you think. You think you're just playing a game, enjoying some entertainment, but slowly behind the scenes, they're pushing an agenda. And the worst part, if you don't like it, you're silenced. Let's use Nexus Mods again, for example. When the Oblivion body type mod was released to give an option to the players to revert to the original gender choices, it was immediately pulled. Multiple times, in fact. Why is that? Because someone felt it was offensive. But here's the kicker. The mod wasn't promoting hate. It wasn't attacking anyone's rights. It was just giving fans a choice to play the game how they wanted. But no, censorship comes in, and it's not just about policing speech at this point. It's about controlling how you play, how you think. And this isn't isolated. It's happening across multiple platforms and games now. Disagree with the mainstream narrative on Reddit? You get banned. Have a different opinion? You get muted. Conservative gamers get banned all the time for even hinting at a different point of view. It's the reason why Elon Musk bought Twitter. It's like there's a growing effort to shut down voices that challenges the norm, no matter how mild the criticism. So when they tell you it's just a game, don't forget that censorship is the real game they're playing. They want to control the content, reshape the narrative, and silence anyone who dares to question it in order to promote a cultural shift. Let's be real. Games influence culture, just like any form of media out there. That's not a conspiracy. That's marketing 101. Developers know this, publishers know this, activists know this, gamers know this. It's why companies sponsor diversity consultants. It's why games are being regulated by their ratings, whether it's suited for kids or for adults only. So when critics point out how certain changes feel ideological, not just creative, that's not paranoia. It's a reaction to real shifts. Disclaimer though, not every change is politically motivated, but some probably are. You know what I'm talking about. And when fans push back, they are often not upset at diversity itself. They're reacting to what feels like forced messaging. Look, no one's saying you can't have diverse characters or bold stories or inclusive messages. The real issue is the double standard and the censorship. If games are powerful enough to change the world, then they're powerful enough to be criticized. And if you don't want people questioning your game's message, maybe don't frame it as a message in the first place, or maybe don't inject your political message in it in the first place. Because the second you use the phrase, "it's just a game, it's not big of a deal," or even use censorship as a shield, you're not defending art. You're hiding from accountability, which hinders us from achieving the true form of inclusion and diversity.